everyone, I'm Karrie Evenson and welcome to Karrie on Canvas. You know, for some of us, when we think about painting, especially in the beginning, it can be somewhat intimidating. You might think your painting has to be perfect or show plenty of detail, and some of you may not even know where to begin. I know that when I first started out, I thought way too much about what should go here or what should go there. And before I knew it, I began to get uptight about the entire process when it was supposed to be relaxing and enjoyable from the beginning. It was then I decided that I needed to let my hair down and just have fun, be free, and go with it. So tonight, I'm going to paint a woman with wild and crazy hair using bright colors and loose brush strokes. This is a chance to really slap on some paint and get messy. I hope that in the end of this painting, we will show a carefree spirit. Why don't you get out your paints and join me? Here's what you're going to need. Medium-sized canvas, assorted acrylic paints. I'll be using red, orange, blue, green, and yellows, medium-sized paint brushes, paper towels or rags. Don't forget your water to keep those brushes clean, and of course, stay loose and free. So here I have my canvas that I went ahead and toned like a yellow gold. I actually used quinacridone gold, which is one of my favorite colors. And I went ahead and sketched this particular piece out with charcoal, and I added a little texture over it. You don't have to do that. You can add texture if you want. I like to do that because it gives it a little extra something, a little extra detail and a little bit of spice to my paintings. So we're going to go ahead and begin by adding the background first. By doing that, I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush and add yellow and a little bit of quinacridone gold and some white. Kind of give it a mustard color. And just start applying it in the background. Just loose and free all over, just like that. I'm covering up the drawing a bit, that's okay. We're gonna come back over. This sketch just kind of shows me where I want my some of my details to go, and I don't have to leave them there if I don't want. I could just paint them out if I want to. A little bit more. So, really a mustard color. And we'll come back in and add other colors as we get through the process. I came up with this idea because I thought it would be really good to show how you can really be loose and free with your paintings. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I know that sometimes we can really be hard on ourselves about what we're painting or what it's supposed to look like or where things are supposed to go. So this is kind of an exercise for you just to loosen up and be free. And keep that in mind as you're painting with me, or if you choose to paint later. Okay, that's good for now. We'll just kind of leave that there. I'm going to scratch a little in here. All right. Rinse my brush off. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add blue-green. And I forgot to mention, what I did was I chose split complementary colors. And I brought here my little color wheel. It's a little travel pack. And what I did was I chose 3 colors, and that's something really simple that you can do at home. It kind of takes the pressure off as to what colors you need to use. So what I did was I chose the blue, green, orange, and red. And I'll use those 3 colors primarily throughout my painting, but I will also add in other colors, maybe reds or some magenta. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and start working on the blue-green. I will take a little bit of my blue, a little bit of yellow, actually a little bit more than that. Mix this really good and add some white, just like that. And we'll just kind of Now, if you feel that you start to tighten up a little too much when you're painting, hold your brush like this. It's very helpful. Just like that. Also gives the wrist a break sometimes too when you've been painting for a long time. I really love this color too, even with the gold and the orange in the background. How it kind of peeks through where the texture is. So when you choose your colors, if you're just starting out and you're learning about painting, you can always turn to the color wheel. It's very helpful in picking out what colors to use, what's the best, what are the best choices, what are the best colors that go together. They kind of did it all for you very simply. And there's lots of different things on the color wheel besides just split complementary. There's complementary, there's triadic. So just, if you don't have a color wheel, you could pick one up at the probably your local art store or craft store, and you can start that way. Now I have to hold my brush more so like this when I'm painting on a table that's high up. Okay, just kind of loose, just like that. Those colors look really, really great together. All right, maybe I'll take a little bit of the darker blue-green just to add a little shadow, a little more than that. Oh, that's too much. Got to be careful with that phthalo blue because phthalo really, really can take over your painting. Now you can see because of the texture, there is orange kind of popping through, this gold popping through. Don't make it a point to go in, if you're using texture, and poke at every little bit of hole and little crack that you need to cover paint up. It gives your piece more interest when you kind of have different colors popping through. Another way to do this is you can even take one of your old pieces that you might have at home, and instead of using, and you want to reuse the canvas, instead of using gesso to cover over it, you can simply paint over the piece itself with the color in the background, and that'll show through also, add a lot of interest. Okay, so we'll kind of let this dry a little bit, and I'm going to go in and start adding the hair. Well, let's see, I'm going to use just a little bit of this, which is the quinacridone gold. My background's still a little wet, so it's going to mix in with the hair a little bit. Just like that. Okay, so next, I'm going to take this red, this bright red, and start kind of, she's got some punk rock hair going on. I use red hair a lot in a lot of my pieces with figures or portrait type pieces that I do. And I think someone asked me once, how come you always paint your women with red hair? And I think because I've always wanted to have red hair, and I'll never be able to have that chance. So that's a good thing about painting, is you can make the piece be what you want and make it your own, kind of your own dream, your own fantasy. Okay, I think I'm going to make her hair a little bit crazier, so we're going to scratch in here. Now, without rinsing my brush, I'm going to go ahead and take some of the gold. You don't have to rinse your brush every time if you're using colors that go well together. And I'm just going to mix it just like this. and add it right in there. Scratch in. If I feel like I'm getting too much color in one area, I'll scratch and kind of break it up a bit. Just like that. Now, another thing that you can do if you feel like, because she's to me right now looking like she has a red afro, I'm going to go ahead and take my rag and you just simply wet, or you can even use alcohol with a cotton ball, and you can wipe out parts that you think you may have too much paint on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't like how this is kind of all stuck together. Just like that. That way I can add more yellow in there. Okay. Now, while the hair's kind of drying a little bit, I'm going to come back in on the background because the background's too gold and it's kind of not showing her hair up very well. So I'm going to come back in with a little bit more white and just simply apply it through here. It's okay if I even cover up the hair a bit. Just like that. A little bit more. A little bit more white right up here at the top. I really want that color to pop out more. I kind of like that a little bit better. Okay. I'll come back in later and add more through the hair. I'm just going to kind of let that sit for a second and go back to her shirt. Go back to my blue-green that I had. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit more white so we can kind of add some highlight in. Just like that. All right, a little bit more green. See how that texture really shows through with the painting? I love that. That's what makes it so great to work with texture. It really adds a lot of interest to your pieces. And you don't have to use structure gel, you know, you can use Elmer's glue and mix it with water and add tissue or gauze, cheesecloth, and you can mix that glue mixture up and apply it on, collage it on to your piece to add texture. All right, let's see, I'm gonna get some teal here. Love teal. Add some just like that. Add maybe a little bit darker blue here towards the bottom. All right. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and just take some white and just kind of apply it through here a bit. Add a little bit more light. There we go. All right, moving on. Okay, let's see. Take my larger brush and I'm going to go ahead and make the skin tone for her face and neck. By doing that, I'm going to do a simple way of doing it. I have a burnt sienna, and I'm just going to mix a little bit of that with my white. Another way you can make a skin tone is by adding a little bit of your complementary colors together. Red and blue and yellow can make and then white can make a nice skin tone. Sweep that down there. A little bit of teal on there, but that's okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more yellow, give her more of a gold tone. I'm going to keep her face pretty simple because that's not really the point in the painting, is to put details on the face. So I may just add some shadow and her lips and kind of leave it at that. And just as her base coat. Go back to my round. There we go. We'll come back in and add some shadows under her neck, and so we can kind of separate the head from the neck. All right, there we go. Next, I'll get another rag here. Going to add some of this burnt sienna, just a little bit, just around the edges of her face to give some shadow. Just like that. And under her neck. I like to take my fingers sometimes and kind of smear the paint in. If you do that though, just make sure that you wash your hands before you touch your eyes or anything. I made the mistake once of my eye itched and I had just got done painting with my fingers and had paint all over them, and that did not feel too good. Okay, so a little bit more here. Still think her skin's a little too pale, but that's okay. I can always come back later and mess with it. Okay, so what I need to do here is add some more white around this area. Just like that. There we go. Little bit of greens kind of getting all over, but that's okay. That's no problem. Just kind of make it work for us. Okay. Leave her face alone for a minute, let it dry a bit. Come back to her hair. Take that bright red that I had. Start just, see how these strokes are just kind of just like that. It's kind of crazy and wild. Take some of this bright yellow I have. It's really goopy. And some crazy hair. Bring the hair down around her neck maybe. Just like that. Love this bright yellow. It's a great color to use when you really want to accent a lot of light. It's a lot of fun too. Scratch it in. Good way to take out frustration. Take that brush and turn it around and just scratch in your canvas. Okay, get some more gold here. Really making the paint thick. Just taking goops of it and applying it. I have a darker red here I might see about using. I kind of like that. Okay. Come back in and add a little bit of a mouth. Maybe I'll use a smaller brush. It's sometimes you can easily go to add your face or your mouth even, and if it's just slightly off-centered, it can make the whole piece look a little off. So we'll go ahead and just add a little bit of this magenta and some white. Make her lips really subtle. I might not even give her a full lip, just maybe partial. Just enough to say this is where her mouth is. That might be good enough right there. It's a lot easier to see when the piece is standing up and I can take a break and look at it from a distance, but I'll do that when I get home. All right, now I'm going to add a little bit of teal in her hair. The paint's still really wet, so I'm gonna go ahead and, normally if you're doing this at home, it's good if you give it a little bit of time to dry. That's okay. Oh, do you see that? That's a big glob right there. Let's take that off. Just like that. Wouldn't it be fun just to have hair like this? I don't know that I'm that brave. I might scare my kids, I don't know. Get a wig. There we go. Scratch some swirls in here. Maybe she has some hair kind of up here a bit. Just kind of going off the page. All right, now let's see here. I'm gonna add a little bit of, starting to dry a bit, so I'm adding a little bit of the gold underneath her neck just to kind of give some shadow. Just like that. Oh, now she has a short stubby neck. See how that happens? Because I'm overworking the piece, and that happens a lot. There we go. All right, I'm going to stop with the face before I mess it up. Now, the next thing that I love to do with pieces like this is take my black and just kind of add some black all throughout the piece. It's a really powerful color, really can make everything else pop out that much more. So first what I'll do is I'm going to come in here and add some squigglies around her collar of her shirt. Scratch it in. There we go. And maybe add a little bit right there here. Take some black and add it through her hair. If you feel like you got too much, you could either wipe it out or scratch it in. Just like that. Just like that. She's a cool chick. She just doesn't care, does she? She's got that carefree spirit, I think. Take this black off right here. It's a little too much. Now, of course, you know, as you get through the piece and you find that maybe it needs a little bit of something here and there, you can come back and fix it. It's up to you. So, I think that's it. I think she looks pretty carefree, don't you? I hope that you enjoyed painting with me tonight and that you feel a bit more relaxed and excited about the whole painting process. It's hard not to be judgmental of our own work, but you have to learn to let go and know that this creative process is for you and no one else. This is your chance to express who you are with your own voice and your own passion. So just go with it and enjoy. Besides, there's always gesso. And you know, I'd love to hear from you. If you ever have any questions or comments, feel free to email me at soverycarrie@cox.net, or you can go to my website at karrieevensonart.com. I hope you will join me again on Monday and Saturday evenings at 7:30, right here on Jones Television, Channel 22. Or you can visit us at jonestv.org. Until then, I'm Karrie Evenson, and you've been watching Karrie on Canvas.